So let's go to the red carpet experience. What is the red carpet experience? Go for it.
Making your customer feel so freaking special. Like
Boom.
you're the only one.
Can't get any better than that, honestly, because literally what's going to keep a client from, to continue to pay you and pay you and pay you is the fact that they know you actually care about their success. Okay? And just like Chad did in the first 7 days, he follows up. I did the exact same thing, except what I would do is I would run the campaign for 14 days, and then I would reach out to them and say, hey, how's your experience been? How's everything going? Before that 30-day mark, because I want to make sure if they need an additional help with, sales or anything, that I can provide that to them at that point so that they can succeed for that next 14 days. But at least they know that I'm on top of them and that they know that I'm literally trying to do everything in my power to make them successful. Okay? And think about why people quit. Because they got this marketing agency guy who's been running ads and hasn't hit them up since that first freaking demo call. And they've been running ads for 6 months. And I don't even know what the heck my marketing guy is doing. Like, I haven't talked to him. I don't even know what he's doing. I know he's bringing me leads, but like, he hasn't hit me back up. And so, boom, cancel. You may not hear from this guy again. When you text him, hey, how's everything? He might ignore your stuff because at that point, it's like he doesn't even feel like there's a connection anymore. You forgot about him. And you're just now collecting his money every single month. And so the second another marketer hits him up and says, hey, I got this thing, he's going to say, oh, well, what do you got? Even though he may be happy, he doesn't feel good. He doesn't feel happy with the current provider who's providing this service. But when maybe he says, when they ask, that other marketing agency asks him, your client, that question, it's like, hey, what are your frustrations? Oh, my frustrations are I hired another marketing company and never freaking followed up with me. They took my money and they just took my money every single month and I didn't feel like he cared at all, and so that's why I'm looking for other options. And then guess what the other marketing company is going to say? Oh, well, with us, we actually follow up every 2 weeks. So you're never going to have that problem. You're actually going to you're going to have your own account manager. In this case, it could be you or whatever. And we're going to be on top of it, make sure that we prioritize the communication because we know how much it sucks to not be communicated with if we're running campaigns for your business, etc. You see?
What if your client has a problem, and who should they call? Should they call you?
You. Yeah, so if you guys are going to go the DashClix model, okay, what's great about this is that within 24 business hours of you placing an order, whether it's for Google, SEO, Facebook, you get access to your own account manager. Go, okay? Then through that, you're also going to get within there the team that's going to be doing and fulfilling the work for you, okay? So really your only role, the only responsibility that you have is just to be the point of contact. How hard can that be? After you've gotten the sale, and you can automate this later down the road once you've implemented and documented and delegated it. But initially, right, when you get the sale, the prospect and the sale, the fulfillment is already done for you. All you have to worry about is calling them within 7 days. How's your experience been? How freaking hard can that be? Is anyone in here doing that? Are you doing that right now with your agency?
We have weekly calls with our people.
Weekly calls with your clients?
Yeah.
So he's doing it. He's providing a red carpet experience. What's your retention?
100% this year.
100%. So you haven't lost the client?
Not this year.
How long have they been around for, give or take?
Some of them three years at this point.
Give them a high five right there. A round of applause too, because that right there is really, really hard to accomplish because there's so much just improper professionalism out there that people really like to feel like they're taken care of, and that I'm sure that his clients love him, right? How do they, when they jump on the call, are you the one personally jumping on the calls?
Say like sometimes, not all times, but like.
And how are there?
I try my best to be there when I can, but like, I'm busy dealing with other things sometimes.
So this is a first-hand proof of concept here. How do they feel when you call them?
They feel great.
What do they say? Thank you so much?
Well, I'll tell you this. This is a big key in this whole process. What you were talking about earlier, saying no. So, like, just an example. Some of our clients came from, like, let's say I have a website guy that I work with, and he does websites, and then like his clients want marketing, so he'll refer them to me. And every time they're like, hey, we think we want to make this change here. He'll always be like, okay, sure, yeah, I can get that done tomorrow. And I'm always like, no, you shouldn't do this because X, Y, Z. And they're like, okay, well, I agree with Eddie. Let's go with that then. And so it kind of, over time, it's positioned me more of an expert because at this point, now the owners just call me individually. We have like group chats and WhatsApp for each client. So like 2 or 3 of us will be in a group chat so that someone can always answer something. You know what I mean?
And then you add that, by the way, I'm sure you add that as a line item.
Yeah, 100%. That's like you get access to
Guys, because it's value. What we don't realize is, this is another thing too, guys. Human beings, naturally, they're going to try to pry everything out of you for free up until you shut them up and you cut them off straight up. And that's why I was saying how important it is. If you're going at a networking event, and I talked to somebody, I forgot who it was. If you go to a networking event, let's say a Chamber of Commerce event, and you bump into a roofer, and all of a sudden he's saying, yeah, I got this business, da da da. And then they ask you naturally, because this is how a conversation goes, what do you do? If you care to help him, you can say, well, I actually specialize in helping roofers grow their business, if you want to go that route. But for me, this is actually a strategy that I did to first grow my company when I didn't have any reputation, no testimonials. I would go in a suit, okay, to the Chamber of Commerce. Nobody would know what the hell I did. And I'd literally sit there and scope out who I wanted to work with. And I said, oh, well, I like that guy. That guy has a really cool business. I know I can kill it with Facebook ads with that guy. That guy over there has a pretty cool business. And now that I know who was in there, I do my walk. And I walk around, right? And I skip the ones that I don't want to work with. And I stop with the ones that I just want to find out more information, right? And I stop and I say, and they naturally just start talking, bro, because no one stops at their booth. And they're just going to start talking, telling you, hey, yeah, we're located here. We got all this stuff, da, 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 da. What do you do? Okay? If you do not want to work with that client, you say, well, I just have my own consulting company. I just want to learn more.
So that you're saying Chamber of Commerce meetings, that's a good place to network?
That's a great place to network. But I'm just going to give you, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm just putting you in an environment where there may be a lot of business owners. And the golden nugget that I want to give you is this, okay? So let's say that roofer says, holy crap, I've been waiting for someone like you, okay? You're going to say, great, that's awesome. I would love to share with you what I can do for you, but right now I don't got time, okay? Because I got other things to do and I have to get out of here. So I would love to share with you, just give me your number, I'll follow up with you either tomorrow or the next day, and we'll sit down and we'll comfortably go through my strategy if that works with you. How does that sound? You see? Because once again, this is the key and this is why I do it. Even though you may have all the damn time in the world, because if you got no clients, what the hell are you gonna do? Go back home and play Xbox? You don't got shit to do, okay? So you wanna make them seem, because guess what? What does an expert not have time for? Bullshit. They don't got time to waste. They're experts, so they know exactly what they need to focus on. They know exactly what they need to do to grow their income. They know exactly what not to focus on, and that's why they're successful. They're experts at what they do, okay? So if you go to a Chamber of Commerce as an expert, which is what you are, and a roofer says, hey, Bobby, that sounds great, okay? That sounds like a great idea. I would love to learn more. You say, I'd love to, but let's schedule a time tomorrow, the next day, because this is why, okay? Because if you solve the problem in that encounter, whether you're at an airport, you're at a bar, the guy next to you is a freaking chiropractor, or you're at a networking event, whatever it is, or you're downstairs, you always want to separate the initial outreach to that consultation, because you want to be in power when you're talking about money, okay? And so if you solve the problem at the encounter where you're at the Chamber of Commerce and you say, oh, well, For roofers, that's a great question. I actually run Google ads to a landing page, and then we retarget them on Facebook, and then we da, 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 da. It's like, what the hell am I going to call you for tomorrow? You just told me everything. Do you see? And because he's in power, he's going to say, oh, let me think about it. And so guess what you just did? You just burned the lead. Because there's no reason to follow up with you if you just already gave him all the golden nuggets, and there's no reason to even set up an appointment because you already know what the hell you're going to tell him. Okay? It's psychology, guys. Straight up psychology. You want to leverage psychology for your own benefit, because that's what's going to allow you to do this the right way, where people aren't feeling like they're being sold. They're actually feeling like they're being helped. Okay? It's a big mindset shift, okay? Once you realize how to do this the right way, your conversion rates are all going to improve. Because when you do this ethically, right, and you're doing it for the best intention of that person, once again, I keep repeating this, because it's so important to concrete down, because once again, people don't like working with people they don't like, and if they don't like you, forget about it. Okay? They don't like you, forget about it. Right? So any questions about that? Follow up, how you should roll out the red carpet? What's up?
Well, I just wanted to tell him something about the Chamber of Commerce, just to keep in mind, so you like before you aggressively go about that strategy. I have another business, and I'm like, I have to be involved for like political reasons in chambers of commerce, and for the most part, all these people that you're trying to prospect from a marketing standpoint already have someone else that's been in the chamber for like 7 years. You know what I mean? That they all look to and think is a marketing expert, even if they suck. So it's another barrier that you have to break down. It's not as simple as just like getting a lead, because in their head, oh, I know Bobby does this already, and we all go to Bobby for this, and we all go to Timmy for signs, and it's the same as like BNIs if you've ever gone to a BNI. So like it's like a small business networking too. So they're all kind of like cliquey to people who have been to the while. So
Sorry.
you're
So
better
it's like
off
when they're
doing
like, I'm a real
emails.
estate agent. They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
exactly.
So to kind of add to that, right? So that can be the case, and I'm personally sharing this story because that's what I did. And that client that I got, the couple clients that I got from the Chamber of Commerce were my longest staying clients because one, they met me in person, and they're like, holy shit, I like you. You sound like you fucking know what you're talking about, because I did. And shit, I'd love to learn more about it. And what's crazy about this is another powerful thing, that when you go to a Chamber of Commerce or BNIs and things, well, more Chamber of Commerce, or even trade shows and things like that, usually the whole team is there. The owner, the assistant, the gatekeeper that you talked to that was like, "Da, da, 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 we ain't interested." It's like, oh, you're the one. You're Mary, I remember you, right? And you go straight to the owner. Forget Mary. But believe it or not, Mary is the owner's biggest influence. So if you find Mary there and you want to just crack a joke or something to make her feel better, because you don't want her to be on the anti-you, okay? Because he's going to say, the owner might like you, but if Mary says, this guy is I talked to this guy the other day, and this guy's, I wouldn't hire him, you didn't get the deal, okay? So you want to leverage even the gatekeeper, and that's why it's so important when you call gatekeepers, they're actually your biggest help. They're your biggest influence. So, hey, Mary, I was just wondering if you can really help me out with something. See if you can help me out with something. You want to include them in the process because they are important. Okay, everyone's important in a business. So you want to make sure that they all know that, you know, they're all part of this thing when they do go along and hire you for something, that they're all going to be a part of it too. Because guess who you're going to speak to, Mary, when you start driving leads? Because who's calling these leads? Who's answering the leads? Mary. So guess who you're going to have to jump back on a call with and say, make sure she's on the same page, and make sure she's going to follow up with the leads in time to make sure she's got the system and the structure and the CRM, et cetera, set up properly so that you're guaranteeing pretty much success when you start your campaign. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Chamber of Commerce is really, really powerful, just like walking in, because they feel you. The hardest thing to accomplish with business is building trust. That is the reason they don't do business with you, because they may like your product, they may like your company, but guess who they don't like? You. Okay? They don't like you, they're not going to buy. Okay? In every single purchase that you make, there's 3 things that need to happen. Okay? You need to have, 1, you got to like the business that you're buying it from. Let's say DashClicks. Okay? 2, you got to like the product that they're selling. Okay? Let's say DashClicks software, fulfillment, etc. And then you also got to like the person selling it to actually buy. Think about it. Everything you've ever bought. If you walk into a car dealership right now and the guy says, hey, what car do you want to buy? Here, let me show you right here, da-da-da-da, and you go straight to the sale versus asking you questions like, hey, what are you in the market for? What do you like? Da-da-da-da. And that experience is a lot different because he's actually showing empathy to get you into the best car possible versus this guy's like, here, buy this because this is the best thing you can buy right now. He's just selling you what he thinks you need. You see? So who would you rather buy your car for? And let's just say you already know the car you want to buy, right? Let's say, who in here wants a dream car? What's your dream car? Lamborghini. Bugatti. Okay, what's yours?
I got asked this yesterday.
You got a what?
I got asked the same question yesterday.
All right, well, what's the answer?
I don't have an answer. I
You
used to be like all about cars. I have an M4. Like I used to like want Lambos.
Okay, so M4 is his dream car. That's why he bought it. Okay, M4 is a nice car. Does everyone agree? So it's a dream car to most people, by the way. So by the end of the day, the reason I bring this up is because when he went to go buy this car, where did you go to go buy it? What company?
BMW.
BMW. Okay, trust in the company. Why didn't he go to Joe Schmo Miami dealership? They'd probably sell it for cheaper, but why not?
Because he lives in Atlanta. Because I was shopping at Camry actually.
Because you were shopping at Camry.
I saw
Okay.
the M4 and I bought it.
Okay. Well, but you walked into what? You walked into what before you walked into any of these mom and pop dealerships? He walked into a BMW, a freaking official, right? Company, okay? And he said he came in for a Camry. He already knows what he wants. He doesn't need to be sold. He already knows what he wants. So there's the product. You don't need to sell me on the thing I already know I need. Okay? What's the third thing?
Third.
Who sold you the car?
Salesman.
Salesman. Did you like him?
We did like that.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, proof.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, you liked him. Okay? If he would have given you this experience where you would have felt some type of way, or you felt pressure or tension, or like he was making you do or manipulating or whatever, you're gonna be like, let me think about it.
Yeah, another guy actually did, because I called in to like price match, like negotiate with another guy.
And he probably was like,
He was sleazy. We hated him. Like, we want it no matter what, not.
and he expects you to come in and ask for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? But what happened there? You like the company, the product, but you don't like the person. So what you did is you just went and bought the same exact shit from someone else. That's what marketing is all about. It's either they're going to buy it from you or someone else. They need that thing. Now, are they going to buy it from you or buy it from him? You guys see this? This is a lot deeper than sales scripts and shit. This is like, you got to connect with that person and understand that, and they need to understand that you are in it to make them successful, not to make you successful. You see, there's a big difference there. So I want to make sure I put you in the best car possible. Okay, I'm going to show you what you wanted to look for, but I'm also going to give you other options that I believe might be also a good fit, just so that you have other options. Right? What's up?
Okay, so question, because there's a lot of us that are very sales heavy. Like, my entire problem on my business is I oversell the hell out of people. Like,
What do you mean by that?
I get them into too much too quick.
Okay.
So I am guilty of getting them into services because I'm starting to look at the price tag once you're in multi-$1,000 a month type of thing. You're kind of just adding a little bit extra to it. But, for example, say you connect really well with a business owner. You know the lowest hanging fruit. I'm kind of going through this entire talk. You know the lowest hanging fruit. They have that taken care of. You see a potential, like, for example, there's this holistic medicine prospect. I love the guy. I love talking to him. He does his own AdWords, and his SEO is on point. Both of those working very well. He knows he wants Facebook ads, but in that industry, would you go and say, hey, look, this is someone I think would work for you? Because to me, I'm not.
I think an expert doesn't say I think. Okay? So an expert says, I know this would be the better route for you. So if they're questioning.
It's kind of adding on top of the additional service. So would you say, hey, yeah, because obviously there's entire niches dedicated to medical stuff. Is that, like, would medical be something that you would suggest, like, adding on top of things? Does that make sense? On, like, Facebook side of things?
It depends on the niche. Once again, it has to do with, like, what service they're offering, etc. But you know what's going to be in their best. You already know what's in their best intention to do with Facebook or Google. So that's why you need to be clear on, you know, what service makes the most sense in the journey of their advertising.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, because there's going to be that point where, yes, we find those people we connect with. We know the lowest hanging fruit. And I know this kind of sounds off topic right now, but my mind is thinking about exactly what you're talking about through this whole thing. But, like, say you're at a networking event, you talk to them and say, I got this, and this set up. When you talk to them and they say they want something.
First off, you're not going to tell them anything that what you do. You say, hey, I can help you, but I don't got time to talk about it right now. And that's the reason, because they're going to come up with objections, and they're going to come up with crap that they're going to be like, oh, I already did Facebook ads. That shit didn't work. And if you've cracked the code on Facebook ads, their limitation is that they've already done it before, and they're not even going to give you the time of day because you've already given them your solution, and now you've lost the opportunity when it was actually, believe it or not, guys, and this is another thing you want to think of too, and write this down. Every single business owner needs you more than you need them. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when someone says no to you, you got to think and say that to yourself. that guy needed me more than I needed him. I'm just going to call the fucking competitor. Straight up. That's the mentality you got to have, guys. You got to be freaking on point with stuff. You know, you got to have that perspective that's going to allow you to keep moving forward. If you're feeling all personal, butt hurt because they just got hung up on, guys, they need you more than you need them. Call the next guy that may need you, right? And accept it that they needed you too, because there's people that have egos through the roof that they know they have a problem, but they don't want to admit it because they're the CEO of the company and they don't want to admit, because it's easier to say, hey, I'm doing okay, than I'm actually running, I'm about to lose my business if I don't fix this crap. By the way, that's expectations. If you don't set expectations the right way, your clients are going to run all over you. If you tell them, hey, I only offer 1 call a week. If you need anything, just bring all the questions to that call. Set that habit up front, because it's going to be 1,000 times harder once you go to a training like this and you realize how much time you're wasting with your clients, and then you change your ways. Like, oh, okay, instead of you being able to contact me anytime you want, now it's only once a week. That's not going to go too well. Yeah. But if you start off saying, hey, this is the way we work because we want to make sure that we take care of our clients and we do this ethically and we're on point and you get our attention every single week, right? You're wanting to set that expectation up front so they know already what to expect. And there's no surprises, there's no nothing, and there's no questions. You just refer back to what we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah.
I
Question?
just wanted to ask them, why don't you guys answer it by text and use the WhatsApp?
Us?
Yeah.
Well, we tell all our clients, you can text us or voice note us on WhatsApp, because how we work is all the staff always has WhatsApp open on their computer, not on their phone. So like we try to not have everyone have their phone open. So to answer text, you unless you're using Mac to iPhone, you have to use your phone. WhatsApp is a desktop app, so they can message us, they can voice note us. We'll try to get back as soon as we can. We tell them, hey, it's like having our emails open faster.
It's like Slack. There's so many different ways you can communicate. You just want to avoid giving them your phone number, because your clients will call you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That way you control your time too. Like what are you saying? You know what I mean?
And that too, guys, look, this is super crucial, because once again, you're an expert, and an expert has very limited time. And the more you can show your client that you value your time, the more they'll perceive you as an expert. Because they're like, oh shit, this guy isn't messing around.
Also, just one thing: the more available you are, the less valuable.
Exactly. Because if you have all the time in the world, that obviously means you got no damn business, you got no clients, you got nothing. And that's why when you're starting out, if you go to a chamber of commerce and they say, hey, what is your strategy? I would love to tell you right now, but I ain't got time right now. And if you have to leave the chamber of commerce because you have nowhere else to talk to, then leave the freaking thing, because you really want to show him that you're serious about not having time. Go play Xbox. Do whatever you got to do. But in his mind, he's like, holy shit, this guy is on the move.
Like you said something earlier that I think is way more key than a lot of people took into value.
What's that?
It's like, even if you don't have a client, you have to pretend you do not need them, which is the hardest part.
Boom.
Like I was making $0. I was maybe making $900 a month, $0 a month, and I still had to like put off clients as if I had other things to do. As hard as it was, like, especially for your pride, you know what I mean? You're
exactly,
like, oh,
yeah.
This client right now, I don't have any money. I need this money. No, can't do it. And then like you kind of brainwash yourself to do it all the time. So when you actually do have money and you are having clients and you have already set yourself that expectation internally, so you always do it all the time.
Exactly.
And it's so hard when you don't have any clients.
Exactly.
It's really hard, but that desperate tone in
They
your
smell
voice.
it.
Yeah, that too. They have a filter for that too. By the way, too, another thing too, guys, confidence bleeds. So they see how confident you are or how not confident you are. So if you're like trying to think of what to say next, red flag, right? I'm going to finish off with 2 things, and we're going to go to the next. I think we have a break next or something. Yeah. Oh, actually, we're going to have some fun next. But 2 things to end this with. When you do the value ladder, okay, and you do the follow-up and everything, and you're going to go offer them another service on top of that first thing, okay, for every purchase that someone makes after the first one, whether it's, let's say, an Insta site you sold them for $199, and now you sell them Facebook or Google or SEO, etc., that second, third, fourth, and fifth purchase only is reassuring that first purchase with you, and they're making them that much more stickier to sticking with you, because they now have 5 different services with you, and now it's almost impossible to leave. That's why the value ladder is extremely, extremely important to have clear on how to do it, because if you do it right, they're going to stick with you forever, because they literally have their entire business with you. Hello. And that's what I ended up doing with most of my clients is like I wasn't just a Facebook ad guy. I'm a professional problem solver. Okay? That's what I do for businesses. If you want a marketer, go hire that guy over there. But with me, you're going to get a complete solution. We got a deal? Okay? That's what you want to do. What makes you different than everybody else? And that's where I'm going to end it. Okay?
But I just want to piggyback off of one thing that you said really quick. So guys, you guys know what the average retention rate for a website is? Anybody want to spit it out? No, like the year amount, like how long they'll stay
They
with
keep
you.
it for.
7 years?
Are they paying monthly on it?
Paying monthly. Yeah.
5 months.
Every
5
website you pay
months,
monthly on. What website don't you
So,
pay monthly
Yeah,
on?
I'm just wondering if this.
Are we talking about like new like business websites or
A
overall?
business website, you sell a plumber website. How long is he going to keep that website for?